Well, barely 2/10 of an inch of rain, but it's already done some good. This stuff is greening up already, and that's the driest field I think I've done so far. So just gonna check the river crossing real quick. Hopefully hop to mowing the across river fields.
The bottom foot narrower, I'll tell you that. I mean, foot wider. Wow. You know what I meant.
Well, I guess that's why you take the first lap a little slower. Don't think I damaged anything. Mower didn't hit it. Tractor bounced over it. Third field. Really have to go for the woods to get to this one.
The third field's across the natural roots main field. The other two. I'll be buzzing back and forth across here a lot. This land doesn't see many tractors with all the draft oil. Impressive. The nicest cover cropping I think I've just about ever seen at the farm or anywhere. So they alternate between cover crop and stuff in production. Nice.
Well, I laid down those 5 acres spread amongst those 3 fields, one there, and one way the heck over there, in just over 2 hours, including needing to go back and forth and do 3 different back swaths. Still a little bit of stripping, but I don't know if I'm just starting to get used to it or if it's a little bit better. Hard to tell. And did hit a fawn. That really sucked. But it's happened a few times. It's always instant with these disc mowers. I run it over just to be extra careful. But, you know, I mean, that thing's dead immediately, but still sucks. Hate doing that. Anyway, now the clouds are dark. Looks like the little bit of rain we're going to get tonight is moving in, which is fine because the stuff's freshly mowed. And then we'll work it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and have a Sunday baling bonanza.
Well, maybe safe to say that the turkey vultures found the fawn. At least it'll be a good meal for someone. Someone's still a bummer though.
We must have gotten rain here last night. Didn't get any of my house, and I'm like 2-3 miles away. But this is awfully wet. It's fine. It's just, I wasn't expecting a wet field.
Nice clover in this. Plenty of other weeds too. Although they usually use this field as a pasture. It's only the second year we've paid it. So. Well, I think they've paid it in the past. Nice grass, just, you know, it's fine.
What a pretty incredible barn they have, though. Oh, solar on it. I don't know when that happened. Nice.
Pretty sweet setup here.
Coming through on the light and all 4 of them looking anyway.
It's a pretty long field.
Alrighty, all 3 fields are raked. Everything's nice and dry. Honestly, could bale some today, but the whole crew's not ready for it. He's got folks gathered for Sunday, so I hope to just get these flopped over in the morning and start to bale noon, 12:30, 1, something like that. All 3 fields have some annoying amount of morning shade. So, yeah, hopefully just finish it tomorrow. Actually, they've been caught up with me most of the day. It's okay though. That's impressive. It's up there. Just shy of 1,000 bales. Here's the real stars of the show here. You guys like that work, don't you? I'll say. All empty. Well, 950 bales later, and we're losing some of the stitching here. I think that was part of the problem already when I replaced that. So yeah, I think it might unfortunately be time to order a new belt. The other one still looks fine, so just one. Anyway, no idea how expensive that's gonna be. And in the meantime, I'll keep using this one, but I'm not about to just continue on for the rest of the season without a spare. All done at Natural Roots. The circus is ready to move on to the next field. Well, it's about 5 p.m. We only got 1/10 of an inch of rain today. It was supposed to be way more. So knocking down one of these finer grass fields. It's sort of hard to tell where the boundaries are until it's mowed, but there's a lot of nice grass, you know, up until the weedy or wetter spots that I don't do. So we'll see. Lots of Timothy, perennial rye, finer grasses. With any luck, let's see, this is Monday at 5. Hope to have this ready to go by the end of Wednesday. Days are long, it's summer. Well, knocked down a pretty tricky 3.5 acres. Really weird shaped field. Rocks down there, had to go nice and slow. Banks all the way around that corner. Did it in under an hour and a half. Yeah, for me, that feels pretty good. Well, I went and mowed another set of 3 smaller fields, maybe 3.5 acres between them. Rough going. The grass was so thick and the understory was lodged. I think one of the fields mowed really poorly. The other one, I lowered the cutting height. I'll have to see how it comes out when I ted it out. But I haven't been back to this field for almost 5 hours. I would have actually liked to ted it sooner, but despite a real lack of sun today, we've had just some really opaque clouds, even though some bursts of sun coming through. But you know, this fine grass field, goodness, did what it does best and dried like crazy. So I was getting pessimistic about baling any of this tomorrow, but I'm gonna fluff it up with the rake right now. It's only 2:30. Who knows, I might rake it later this afternoon. That'd be nice. Still didn't mow it best. Perennial rye there. Whoops, forgot to come back for that triangle. Well, some wild creatures appreciate my work anyway. This grass wasn't even that thick. Okay, are you following? I'm at the next field. Oh, got something. In the wrong spot. I'm not trying to chase you. We're just having a little chat. Oh, you can stay down here. Oh well, I guess not everything's a Disney moment, huh? It's funny, the more hay I do, the more diesel I use. It's almost like that's correlated. Passing the concrete report card pretty well, though. Oh, little leak. There's something from one of the hydraulic filters. I don't know if I need to tighten that. I'm gonna call that acceptable, though. Otherwise, no engine oil. I swear, every time I look away, this thing is dried considerably. It's really on the fence about whether it'd be rakeable today, but looks like the clouds might have blown out of here. And it's, what, only 4:30? Not that far past the solstice, and this field actually gets sun for a really long time thanks to that area I can't mow. Down around those rocks are really the only quote-unquote early shade. I bet there's still a few hours of sun left here. Feels pretty good. It's like, if I had tedding anxiety, I could hit it again, but I think that's a little bit overkill. We'll see. I'm gonna go get the rake and then start moving wagons, move the hay elevator to the barn, give it some more time, maybe rake it late afternoon. Went and picked up a replacement thrower belt yesterday, or yeet belt, as I think it should be called. It's almost 200 bucks for this damn thing, but the lacings are brand new. And hey, look, same kind of wire I replaced on the other one, so at least that was original. But yeah, I don't know if I have time with all this hay down to replace it, but at least I have a spare if it goes, and I'll replace it when I have a moment anyway. It's not quite as good of a report card, but still no sign of leaks on 165 at all. Actually, I think I filled it up at the diesel pump sometime in the last week. and no leaks to be said there either. So knock on wood, this one's nice and clean. All raked. Glad I did. There was plenty of wet stuff that, yeah, this field mowed kind of rough. So there was some wet stuff. The tedder was missing. Same old, same old. It's been better with the new mower. I mean, I'm not complaining too much. But getting this stuff scraped up and getting some airflow is great. If I had waited to rake till tomorrow in hopes to bale, I think I would have unearthed a bunch of things that I wish I'd done a day earlier. So we'll see. I might do my faux rotary rake on this tomorrow. This whole area is actually pretty good. Same thing with up there, the finer grasses and drier ground, but down there and especially around those rocks is pretty, there's some snots of green in there. So we'll see. Right now I'm gonna stage the rest of the wagons, get them over here, get a jump on tomorrow. Yeah. Well, we might be playing yeet belt roulette today. Still plenty of stitching here. I'm hoping this will be okay. I have the replacement belt, but it's going to take some time to take it apart, put that on there. Who knows what kind of troubleshooting there will be. I think the risk of bailing with this is actually less than trying to squeeze in a replacement, but we'll see. It might end up completely flying apart on me. Well, that's wagon one. I went around the whole field 3 times and then around this lower bit another 3 times. I hope I can fit this all in 4 wagons. Well, I guess that's a bad problem to have. Good problem to have. Words. 200 bales so far. I think we're gonna get this on 4 wagons. This, yeah, it's coming together nice. 3rd wagon. So it's about 10 a.m. and I'm about to do something kind of eccentric. I only got a chance to ted these fields once yesterday, around 11, and had to focus on baling the other field the rest of the day. I had hopes to get this raked late last night, didn't get to it. And on a normal New England baling day, if the hay's not raked, the first thing you do is ted it lightly to fluff it up again, really clear the dew off, clear off the ground moisture, then rake it, then bale it. And if this stuff had mowed cleanly and had a dry understory, that's absolutely what I'd be doing. But both this field and that one had a really lodged, wet understory. And I had my mower set a little bit too high. I still had it at like the 3-inch stubble height. And I realized after mowing this one and starting that one, that it was missing these big, flattened swaths. So the stubble's gonna be terrible on this, and for a good amount of that. And I know along with that, there's wet wads plastered down there. The tedder hasn't been grabbing. And if I waited to rake this for the first time right before baling it, I'd be unearthing wet stuff. I just know it. So instead, I'm gonna first thing rake this field and rake that one, and then wait a couple hours, lightly tease it out with the tedder to pull those wads apart and re-rake it again. I know it's insane, way more work than I want to be doing, but I've got customers coming later today to get this hay. It's definitely ready to go, just needs that little bit of a kick in the pants to get it going. Luckily, the 3rd smaller field, you can't see from here, didn't have that issue. It mowed much nicer, so that I'll do the normal ted it in a little bit, rake it around noon, and hopefully bale that one first. Whew, that's where I'm at. Well, so far, not too many snots, a little bit. I think I just saw a rake tine over there. Pretty nice and dry up top here. I mean, I won't ted out what I don't have to, don't get me wrong. In here in the shade line though, yeah, you can see a good amount in there. Especially where it gets real thick in here. Oh, I just got hit in the head by my water jug. Here's where it's ugly. Doing exactly what I knew it would. Oh, just wet crap in there. I might have to walk through and pick some of that out. Nice breeze, full sun. All 3 fields are raked. These 2 are looking pretty good. The other one looks beautiful. These ones I think are good. There's, you know, still some odd colored stuff coming up with the rake, but it seems to be dry and definitely few and far between. So, we'll see how many we put together here. guess it's 110. Check the calendar. First wagon off this field. Another partial. There's the third wagon. Still got all of that. I think that'll fit on 4. And if not, that one's partially unloaded now. And wagon 4. All right, all done. About 360 bales. We've had a whole bunch of it leave off the field. These folks took 160. Had somebody else come for 60 earlier, somebody else for 50. Brought a wagon of like 90 something up to the barn way up on Cricket Hill for another customer to get another day. Yeah, time to go eat some pizza, I think. Okay, so I really love this mower. I mean, it's still having that little bit of a mowing strip problem, although that seems to be getting better, either as the grass matures or some settings maybe I've dialed in. It's not perfect. Vermeer actually has a solution. But I'd say my favorite thing about this mower, well, no, that's not fair. I have a lot of favorite things. One of my favorite things about this mower is the blade changing system. On the other mower that I have, that I'm soon to hopefully find a new home for, this is all with bolts and a torque wrench. Vermeer has this really handy quick change blade setup with this tool and these clips that you just pry, clip out, and then the pin drops out and the blade comes out, and you could flip it, reverse the process, and put it right back in. Kind of amazing. I will say that yesterday I hit just about the biggest rock I've ever hit. The folks absolutely warned me about it. Chris walked the field with me, pointed it out. Forgot about it, did the back swath, and nailed it, I think, with this disc. Thankfully, this mower is like, I'm not going to say bulletproof yet, but it bounced right over it, but not before really dinging up these blades. Both sides are a little worn, so replacing these, flipping the rest. It's New England for you. We grow nice rocks here. Alrighty, I've got a spare hour and a half, so it's time to do this belt replacement, I think. Backed off the tension on this, and actually it didn't get any worse in the last field I baled, but it will eventually, and I would actually love to be able to keep that thing as a spare, because it'll fit both top and bottom. So what the heck, put it together. I don't think it'll be too crazy. Well, the new belt's on. We'll see how it tracks. It looks a little bit looser than I want it to be, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that bottom one's a lot tighter. I'm gonna tighten that up more. Well, it took some finagling, but I got it tracking correctly. The thing that's funny is to get it centered on the top one, it's a little out of center on the bottom one. Not quite sure why. My guess is this new belt has to stretch. I hope I won't regret putting a new belt on a day before baling, but at least it's a smaller field. There is some hay here. Whoa. I'm just grabbing half a tedder width each pass. It's crazy. Compliments to Mary and Chris for managing this. Well, I pushed it a little and got 105 on the first wagon. Gets a little bit steep over there, so I started cutting it shorter, but it gets even a little bit tippy in there. So everything was fine, but probably flying a little closer to the sun than I want. Anyway, glad I have 4 wagons here, which I think I always say. Well, Mary and Chris getting their shake out of it. Seems like a nice win-win. They seem happy. I'm definitely happy. Got the second wagon with probably 90 or so. I bet there's probably one more wagon worth, but I might split it just because it does get awfully steep in there. Collaboration's nice. We only got 298 off this field. Used all 4 wagons. Could have fitted on 3 if it was a flat field, but that back corner there is tricky. So Mary and Chris took the first wagon with about 105. And so I'll be using about 200 or so. It's a pretty amazing yield. Every bit of calculation I was just doing on maps says it's about 2 acres. But if that's true, that's 150 bales an acre, which I don't think I've ever seen that before. So could just be a magic field, or it's probably closer to like 2.5 acres. Still really heavy. Happy with that. 2 wagons in the barn. Well, 1 and a partial. Back down the hill.